does the motor vehicle exception, otherwise known as the Carroll Doctrine, apply to vehicles that were never occupied? Okay, my name is Anthony Bandiero, attorney and senior legal instructor, bringing the roadside chat from the studio. This is my iPad here, so I'm looking down at it just so you know what I'm doing here. And this cop is a sergeant in Texas. And I love Texas. I like to say my house is in Washington, but my heart is in Texas. So, I have a good Texas accent. I'm kind of legit. I could probably fit in pretty well, though, to be honest with you. But here's a scenario. Here's the sitch. A theft in progress call comes out at a local department store, and suspects run through parking lot as police are arriving. They never went to their car in their attempt to flee. Their car was found in the parking lot, which was verified by registration, and finding video on surveillance of them arriving. So verified by registration, maybe because they pulled up the registration, they pulled up a picture of the RO, and maybe he or she looks like the thief. I don't know how else you would verify if you don't know the person's name, right? But these cops are putting the dots together. I love it. So they know that this is the person's car. They can also clearly see that the people arrived in that car. Inside the car was clothing in the backseat with tags still on it. Nothing was verified stolen in the car. Meaning, okay, look, they're not in the car, but it's not like they have like a smoking gun evidence that this clothes was stolen. The question is, does the Carroll rule apply, allowing a warrantless search of the suspect's vehicle based on it being registered to the suspect's and potentially stolen car in the back? That's what they were stealing as well. They were also stealing clothes at the department store. Or would the more appropriate decision be to secure it and get a search warrant? Okay, so let's establish some ground rules here, and then I can answer your question. The first ground rule is the motor vehicle exception. The motor vehicle exception has been around for over 100 years. Yes, over 100. Next year will be over 100 years. So it'll be at 100 years. So the motor vehicle exception has been around for about 100 years. It's well established, and the rule is very straightforward. If police officers have probable cause that there's evidence, contraband, fruits, or instrumentalities of a crime in a vehicle, and the vehicle is readily and or apparently mobile, kind of means the same thing, but basically the car can move. It has the potentiality to move. It's not that it has moved, but it has the potential to move. And the vehicle is not on curtilage. That's the area around the home that is treated like the home itself. Then the police can search that car as if they had a warrant. That case is called Ross. So, the next question is do we have probable cause? So, actually, I'll back up. Did you hear anything in those rules? Anything about the vehicle being occupied? The answer is no. In a case called Thomas, the U.S. 1984, I believe, the Supreme Court has said that the fact that the vehicle is immobile is basically irrelevant. Meaning it's not been moved, it's like an inventory lot or an impound lot and so forth is irrelevant. The question for you is, does it have the potential to move, right? And it's all based primarily on a reduced expectation of privacy. There is no exigency required in these cases. The fact that you have the keys, the fact that the people are in custody, the fact that they fled and there's nobody going to take this car away from you is irrelevant. The question for you is, does it have the potential to move? And if it does, that means it has a reduced expectation of privacy because motor vehicles are highly regulated in society. That doctrine comes from a case called Chambers versus Maroney. Now, back to the issue at hand. Do we have probable cause for this vehicle? Okay, let's look at it. Probable cause is a fair probability that evidence, contraband, etc., will be in the vehicle. Is there a fair probability that these people who just stole clothing and ran, and then their car is in the parking lot, and you look in the car, and there's clothes just strewn about with tags on it, and that's the same thing that they were stealing at this department store? Is there a fair probability that what you're looking at there is proceeds from a theft? The answer is yes. Okay, but look at the TOC, the totality of circumstances. Again, they just fled. They fled. Did they go back to the car? No, because hopefully, maybe they're thinking that you don't want to see that. They don't get stopped in the car, so you don't see more evidence of their crimes. Use some common sense here too, right? Based on your life experience, when you buy clothes, what do they normally put those clothes in? A bag. Very few people that I have seen, and I certainly in my experience, very few people buy more than just one item, buy clothes, plural, and then when they are asked, when they're checking out, they don't even have those clothes put in a bag. Clothes need to be protected from dropping on the street and so forth. It's just common practice to put items in a bag. So where is the bag? Next, how much clothes are we talking about here, right? Is it a bunch of clothes? Are there any sensors on those? The anti-theft sensors? The anti-theft sensor would be golden. That'd be like a done deal at that point. Did you run the RO? Do they have a history of theft? That, theft arrests or convictions, that might be kind of nice. What else do we have here? We have, of course, the person's got out of the, of the car. Maybe you can, if you have any evidence that this was, some kind of organized crime for retail theft and so forth. But the point is, the next thing I said, because the next thing is the sergeant really asked a great question. What about like getting a search warrant? Well, here's my thing. I always say this, even to my attorney followers. A lot of times they'll say, Anthony, I hear you. I just don't know if it applies. I just think they should just go get a warrant. Go to the judge and just get a warrant. But then I say to them, whoa, whoa, whoa. But back up. If you're saying to me that you think they could have gotten a warrant, then you're also saying at the same time that the motor vehicle exception applies. And when I say that, a lot of light bulbs go off. I just can't tell you how many times attorneys and cops say, well, shit, you're right. I mean, I'm saying to my cops, hey, why? No, you can't. It's immobile. Nobody was in it. Just go apply for a warrant. You don't have you can't search it. But I'm like, but you are also saying that you agree that there's probable cause. Why would you tell an officer to go get a warrant if you didn't even think they had PC? Aren't you wasting people's time? Like, well, yeah, I guess you're right. If we had PC, we have the motor vehicle exception. Now, the next thing though, just because you can doesn't mean you should. This is still a debatable case. It's not like we got the smoking gun back there. Now, if the tags are still on it, I'm sorry, not the tags, but the anti-theft devices are still on these clothes. Clearly, we have probable cause all day, twice on Sunday, that these clothes were stolen from a store. Okay, is it possible that the cashier forgot to remove an anti-theft device, officer? Absolutely, it's possible. It's just not probable. How many times have you purchased clothes in your life and the anti-theft tag was left on? Probably not that many times. Has it happened? Sure, it has happened. Does it happen a lot? Not even close. Not compared to the overall number of purchases that you have made. So back to this. If you think you have probable cause, you don't need these people around. You could, call a locksmith, open up the car, recover these proceeds of a crime, put it in evidence, as an ongoing investigation, and you chase down your leads. Hopefully, these tags will say what store they're from. Then you go to that store and say, "Hey, we got some clothes in our inventory that this is what we have here. Do you have those items missing? Can you look at your security camera and see if these people gone to your store? Stuff like that. You do your investigation. If you can't you can't put your case together, then you put it in for safekeeping and let the rightful owner collect it. And if the people that were the suspects in the other theft, they come to your police station and say, "Hey, yeah, we stole that stuff at Ross, but this stuff that you found in the car from Walmart was not stolen. We paid for that with our good, hard-earned, government subsidies." So that's what I have for you. It's a great question. I hope this helped. If you have any questions about this or anything else I teach, please reach out to us at bluetogold.com. I also pulled up our website here. Please go to our website. Look at all this training that we have around the country. We have a class near you, either physically or online. A lot of stuff is online. We have great reviews. A lot of clients that just love Blue to Gold and what we do because nobody does search and seizure better. Go to our classes, pick a class, check it out. If you've not been to one of our classes, you'll love it. It is the best training I can say it with absolute certainty. If I'm wrong, I'll give you everything, all your money back. We're like a damn TV commercial here. If you like this and what we're doing, please hit like, subscribe, share with your friends. Until next time, my friends, you stay safe.